What is up? What is good? How you doing? How you been? I hope you're doing well. All right, we're at exit 142 Posey Road on 49 North in Louisiana. We are 57 miles south of Shreveport, and the roads have been really clear up to this point. There has been some snow on the bridges. The bridges were mainly just wet from melting snow. And just within the last mile is when there's been snow still on the ground on the roads. So I'm going to go ahead and record the rest of the drive from here to Longview, Texas, just to show what the roads are like here in Louisiana. The roads are probably just going to continue getting worse and worse as we go further and further north. That sign says 57 miles to Shreveport. So we're still an hour south of Shreveport. There's quite a few delays and backups in Shreveport. So the roads are still really bad in Shreveport. And as we're getting closer and closer, the roads are getting worse and worse. But up until just a couple of miles ago, there was almost no snow or ice, even on the shoulders of the road. It's just been within the last mile or two that we've started running across snow and ice. It's been perfect roads up until the last mile or two. Like, see how we're coming out of it right now? And the roads are getting dry and there's hardly any snow or ice anywhere. This is kind of like how the roads have been the whole drive, except completely dry. But had to turn the cruise off. We're pedaling it the rest of the way. I've got a really light load. It's only 8,100 pounds. I think it's toilet paper. It says tissue on the bill of lading. My temperature gauge says it's 51 degrees outside. I'm not sure how accurate that is. The high today in Shreveport was supposed to be 41. So it's above freezing, but I'm not sure exactly how high above freezing it is. If Louisiana would have been taking care of their roads, plowing them and putting down de-icer and stuff like that, these roads would be perfectly clear and dry right now. But Louisiana has put it in God's hands, and they're not doing anything to their roads. I've been watching the Shreveport news, and they basically said on the news that the state doesn't have the equipment to deal with this, so they're just going to let it melt off naturally. I've heard people will say that on like some forums and stuff like that, but I thought it was a joke. And then to hear the actual news say it, like, are you kidding me? Like, what kind of back-assward state is this? Have you never gotten snow before? I mean, I could understand if someplace like Hawaii doesn't have snow plows, but I don't know what the climate is like in Louisiana. Do they never get snow? Is this like the first time they've ever gotten snow? I guess that would explain them not having snow plows or any kind of, equipment to maintain the roads. We're getting some really patchy nastiness right now. We're getting some nice good road and then patchy nastiness. And we just went to blacktop from like a brownish road, and it looks like this black is getting hotter with the sun, and it's melting off more. You could tell they had a lot of snow on these roads based off how wet they are from the snow melting. What the? Why would you come over so ridiculously close to me? Like, especially in these conditions. What a dumbass. People do that all the time. I don't know why they feel the need to come over. They love riding nut to butt. Like, I don't know what it is with people wanting to be so ridiculously close to other vehicles. Speed limit is 75. I'm pedaling it, so I'm bouncing between like 63 to 65 right now. What do we got going on up there at that green sign? There's a sign, and it looks like a utility vehicle or something next to it. Some type of large vehicle. Looks like a bucket. What I have been seeing, even before we got to this, bad road that we're on right now, back when the road was perfectly clear back there, I saw vehicles from previous accidents that were still in the ditch, a lot of tire tracks, bumpers, alongside the road. You could tell that there were a lot of accidents. So what's going on here? I don't know what's going on here. I am not changing lanes in this bullshit though. Yeah, I don't know what that was. It's some kind of construction equipment. I think most of the snow that we're seeing on the road is slush because of the direct sunlight. It's heated up, and I think the majority of it is probably slush, but I'm not going to drive on it and find out. Even slush is slippery, so what I'm really concerned with right now is there's still a bunch of dumbasses driving 75, 80 miles an hour, and one of them's going to pass me right now. What I'm concerned with is one of these idiots getting out in this left lane and wiping out in one of these slush piles and hitting me. Here comes a dumbass right now. I'm going 65 and he's going 75, 80 miles an hour, driving like these roads are wide open, but he's got four-wheel drive, He's got four-wheel drive. Dumbasses. That is what scares the shit out of me about driving on snow and ice is the dumbasses. I'm not too concerned about myself getting into an accident. I'm concerned with one of these dumbasses getting into an accident with me. I've got some idiot in a sedan over in the left lane trying to pass me right now. You see how bad that left lane is? There's some dumbass in a sedan. They just fell in behind me. They gave up on trying to pass in the left lane. The left lane was too bad, so they dipped back over here into the right lane. Now they're back in the left lane passing. Dumbasses. I have a huge line of cars behind me. See, this is what I'm concerned with, is some idiot like this wiping out in front of me or beside me. I have a big line of cars. These cars are not slowing down for conditions. They're still going 75, 80 miles an hour. So I have a whole bunch of cars that have caught up with me, and they're behind me right now. I have a big line of cars behind me. And this is what I'm really concerned with, is cars getting piled up behind me and then getting impatient and then having a whole bunch of cars passing me in a nasty lane. But these people are not adjusting speed for conditions. Look how bad that left lane is on that bridge. There's somebody in the left lane that just drove across that. The side of their vehicle went up at least 6 to 8 inches driving over that snow pile. This fucking genius right here, putting my life at unnecessary risk over their dumbass. It's that left lane is really bad in this shaded area here with the trees. There's nobody in it. Nobody's passing me through this. You can see right there, see that tree limb? There's several tree limbs down. There have been multiple accidents through here. You can see all the where they've hit the trees. You can see dirt on the road from wherever they've sprayed up road from going off the road right there. I don't know. The video quality is not the greatest. I don't know if you can see that. There's more broken limbs right there where people have been sliding off the road. Yeah, there's been a lot of accidents down through this area. Do you see the travel lane around that tanker? That tanker's been sitting there for so long. You can see where people have been driving around it. I'm still 40 miles from Shreveport. So it's probably going to be roads like this the rest of the way to Longview. Hopefully Texas is taking better care of their roads, and I'll get a few miles of decent roads for a while. But yeah, you can see the traffic pattern where everybody's been driving. Everybody's basically been driving in single lane through this crap. There's probably been a bunch of accidents through here. You see how the traffic moved over to the left lane through that area? There's probably some accidents right there. The cars behind me are basically just sticking behind me. Nobody's trying to do anything stupid right now. Let's double check that my engine brakes off. I mean, we're moving through here pretty good. I trip planned this so that I would be driving through this area at the highest temperature of the day while the sun was up. And there would be enough time that the ice would melt from the refreeze last night. So these are the best road conditions that I could possibly trip plan for. Louisiana does not appear to be plowing or de-icing or doing anything to their roads. They're just YOLOing it. That's really shitty. I don't know, like, what the climate is like in Louisiana. Do they never ever get snow? What would explain why they don't have any kind of road maintenance equipment? I mean, if this is the first time they've ever gotten snow, then yeah, that explains it. Like, I could understand that Hawaii would not have snow plows. That would make sense to me. Got another truck on the shoulder up here. Some of these trucks might have run out of fuel during accidents, because there were some nasty accidents on here that shut the road down for a long time. Or these trucks might have been involved in some of those nasty accidents. The angle that guy was in, his right tire was off the shoulder in the mud, and it was at his tractor was leaned over really far. I'm pretty sure his right steer tire was buried in the mud, and he wasn't able to get out of that spot. Pretty sure he slid into that spot, and his right steer tire got buried in the mud. "39 miles to Shreveport." You think this is bad? I-20 coming out of Shreveport is supposedly moving at like 10 miles an hour or something. It's basically a crawl. All the four-wheelers behind me are wanting to go really fast. But I don't really give a shit what they want. I'm going to go the speed I think I can go. And unfortunately, there's only, like, this travel lane is going right down the middle of the road. Now it moved over to the right. Now it's going down the middle of the damn road again. Now it's back over in the right lane. But we're going through here at a good pace. I'm actually catching up with the vehicles in front of me. I'm going to have to slow down here before long. I'm going 60 miles an hour right now. And I would talk about stuff, but with these road conditions, I'm really just hyper focused on the surface conditions and the people around me, just keeping a lookout for dumbasses. Like, this bridge looks really nasty. I could just imagine somebody jumping out to pass me on some shit like this and then running into me. All right, the roads are starting to look clear enough that somebody might try passing me in the left. So I have to be careful right here, see if anybody jumps out and goes for it. I don't see anybody going for it yet. The thing I'm really concerned about is that if I start to have a whole lot of snow and ice in my lane, I might have to, the travel lane is moving back and forth across the lanes. If somebody gets out in that left lane and they jam me into this lane, they could force me into, staying in my lane and driving through slush. I'd have to slam on my brakes because you hit a slush pile, it could grab your steer tire and jerk you around. So you don't. I would have to just slam on my brakes if somebody started trying to pass because I couldn't risk that. I'd have to slow down considerably. The other thing is that like that left lane at any moment could just become snow covered, completely snow covered, and somebody could wipe out passing me. But so far, everybody is perfectly content with just chilling behind me. If I go too slow, I seem to be traveling at a speed that they're acceptable with. If I go too slow, they'll get squirrely and start doing stupid things to get around me. But if they start passing me, I'll probably just slow down and let them all go around me. Because I don't want somebody driving beside me in this shit. Man, if Louisiana had a damn snowplow, if they would have just plowed this road would be completely dry right now. See all the tire tracks right there where somebody went into the ditch? I guess they're just relying on all the vehicles driving across the road to cleaning up the mess for them. Way to conserve money, Louisiana. I'm really surprised that these guys have not tried to jump out around me. Some of that slush on the road could be solid, and they might hit that with one of their tires, and it could cause their vehicle to jerk. It might grab a hold of their steer tire and cause them to spin out or something. It might not all be slush. I mean, I guess this is about as good as I could expect for road conditions. Man, I would have hated to have driven through here yesterday. That would have been an absolute nightmare. Probably been going through here at like 10, 15 miles an hour. It was probably still snow covered yesterday. Got a four-wheeler coming up on ramp. That sucks because right now the vehicle in front of me is another big truck. I don't like having four-wheelers in front of me or in between me and another truck. Let's see what this four-wheeler does. And this spot is nasty. All right, now we're back to like fully snow-covered left lane, and we just have a single driving lane. And I am catching up with a line of cars. This truck in front of me is moving at a roughly, he's going a little bit slower than me, but not too much. But there's a huge line of cars just past that hill up there that we're going to be catching up with. So we're going to be slowing down quite a bit before long. So I'm not in a big rush to get there because I don't want to be tailgating the shit out of people. That four-wheeler behind that big truck keeps jumping out to the left looking for a way to pass. So I have a dumbass in front of me. He could easily just hit that left lane and spin out. So we're going to, once I start catching up with other people, I'm going to be maintaining a lot of space. Just triple checking that my engine brakes are off. I've already checked them multiple times. Great. Another four-wheeler in between me and this truck. Another one coming on the on-ramp. Hasn't Louisiana been telling these people to not travel unless absolutely necessary? I was really hoping that it would only be commercial traffic. But there's a lot of four-wheelers out here on the road. There they go. They just hopped out in the left lane to start passing me. Hopefully he just stays in that fucking left lane. Nope. There he comes over in front of me. Now they're all going for it. I've got four-wheel drive. Oh, that's nice. Did they include four-wheel stop? Yeah, they're all going for it now. I'm just going to slow down. Just going to slow down and let them all come around. I don't like being next to dumbasses. All right, now there's only one car behind me. I wish these stupid fucking idiots would go ahead and pass that other truck. They're just getting in front of me and speed matching me. Now there goes the last car past me right now. The roads are clearing up. So maybe they actually plowed this area. Maybe within a certain distance of Shreveport, they plowed the roads. Because the roads would be completely dry if they plowed them. The roads are starting to look good, but this is what gets you in accidents is like being too trusting of conditions and roads. You know, oh, the roads are nice right now, and you speed up to like 80 miles an hour, and then in 5 feet, it's black ice. You know, we're driving in conditions that can change rapidly. So it's not justifiable to be going the speed limit right now. And these people are going over the speed limit. They're going like 80 to 85 miles an hour on these roads. I don't think they plowed this area. I think that traffic was just driving in both lanes through this area, and that's what's cleared most of it off. Looks like we are the Louisiana snowplows. I don't have anybody behind me for quite a ways, so I'm actually glad that all those cars got around me and are gone now. There's only one more car in between me and the truck, and they're up there sniffing his ass, and I'm just going to try to maintain this kind of distance. I can see cars catching up with me quite a ways back there. You know, they're going to be driving 80, 85 miles an hour, so they will catch up with me. But as of right now, I got some good spacing. 82 miles to Longview, 21 miles to Shreveport. I wonder if, like, as soon as we cross the border into Texas, the roads are going to be amazing. Because, you know, Texas isn't a shithole like Louisiana. Everybody's blasting Texas in the media. Texas is actually handling it quite well. A lot of these surrounding states are a lot worse off than Texas. Oklahoma had rolling blackouts. They had water outages. You know, water mains busted. Louisiana had the same thing. I've been watching the Shreveport news, checking the weather for the last few days. Ooh, man, that left lane is completely covered underneath that bridge. And they're saying that they had a whole bunch of water mains break. Basically, the entire city and the surrounding areas of Shreveport are not without power, or not power, but water. The water is still flowing, but it's really low pressure. You might not be able to get water out of your tap because it's such low pressure. And they have a bunch of breaks in the lines. They said that they have some pipe in the water system that's over 100 years old. And a lot of those pipes have failed in this storm. So they just have some really outdated infrastructure. They don't have the proper equipment to maintain the roads or anything. So it's like, why aren't they blasting Louisiana? Why are they blasting Texas? Why are, you know, Oklahoma, exact same shit that happened in Texas happened in Oklahoma. Arkansas, like all of these states. I mean, there's even some northern states that had major issues. This is a huge storm. This is like a historic storm. It's like 100-year storm. People are acting like Texas is the only damn place that this storm hit. Yeah, we're moving at a good speed. I was dreading a slowdown on 49. I was like, man, I hope that I'm not going to have to drive in like 5 mile per hour traffic for 20 miles south of Shreveport. And we're moving really good. It looks like the only place where I want to be driving 5 miles an hour is going to be inside the city of Shreveport. You know, getting out of town. They've still got 49 shut down, so you have to detour on some state road or highway or something. And 20 is really moving slowly from the, inside the city of Shreveport for probably 10 to 20 miles west of Shreveport. It's going to be slow moving. All right, those cars that were way behind me have finally caught up with me, and they're hitting the left lane going around right now. So I'm going to have to not only watch the surface conditions of my lane, I'm also going to have to pay attention to the surface conditions of the left-hand lane to see if this dumbass is going to hit something and spin out. There he goes, like 80 miles an hour around me. And he's going to fucking cut me off like a dumbass. I wouldn't expect any less. These morons. And he's probably going to get home and tell his wife and kids and all of his buddies, yeah, there's a bunch of dumbasses out there going like 50 miles an hour on the interstate. I just passed motherfuckers like crazy going like 80. Those roads were nice. See, the thing is that you can minimize risk. You can't completely get rid of it. And these dumbasses think that just because they didn't get into an accident, whatever they were doing was okay. You'll hear people talking about, oh, I've been driving for 20 years and I've been doing this for 20 years. It's like, wow, you've been doing it wrong for 20 years and gotten really lucky. We're starting to catch up to slower traffic. It's going to back it down. I like the distance that I've been having with this truck in front of me. That dumb shit is still trying to pass everybody. And here comes another one coming up behind me right now. There's 3 vehicles coming up behind me. Right now, none of them are making a move to pass. You gotta remember, most of these morons have never driven on snow and ice. They don't know how quickly they can lose control of the vehicle. They don't know how hard your steering can jerk hitting a pile of snow. Nobody's making a move to pass still. Shit, that is so fucking dangerous. Do you see that dumbass coming up on the on-ramp? He wiped out there on the bridge. He's spinning out right now. What a fucking moron. He tried to get in front of that truck. He came up that on-ramp and tried to get in front of that truck and almost spun out and caused a 3-vehicle accident. These fucking idiots. They have these jacked up 4-wheel drive trucks and they are overconfident in what they can do. That is the reason I don't want anybody near me in this bullshit, because these people are fucking stupid. Came flying up that on-ramp and was trying so hard to get in front of that truck that he was passing him on the damn shoulder of the bridge. And spun out in the snow. That is just, can't make this shit up. Like, there's a level of stupid that I don't understand. I can't comprehend it. It's like a secret society of dumb shits. No one truly knows their ways. We are 11 miles from the detour where they shut 49 down. 49 is going to be shut down 11 miles. Okay, I got some fucking moron out in the left lane. And now we're hitting a shaded area. Now they're back over in the right lane. These fucking morons. I don't like having dumbasses near me. This idiot that's behind me right now jumped out in the left lane and passed like 3 or 4 cars and then dipped in behind me. So he looks like a dumbass. He's probably got, he's feeling stupid right now. And he's going to make a gutsy move to pass me. Because he just passed all those people. Now they had to slow down for his dumbass. And now he feels pressured into getting around me. So I'm really keeping an eye on this moron because he's going to jump out at the first opportunity he sees. That left lane is really nasty. He's not going for it. If it ever clears up a little bit, he's going to jump out. These are the kind of dumbasses that cause wrecks in this shit. Impatient. They jump out, lose traction, spin out, hopefully don't hit somebody else. All right, what we got on the bridge? My temperature gauge is still saying 50, but I think I mentioned earlier that with direct sunlight, it can be off by up to 10 degrees while the truck's moving and 40 to 50 degrees while I'm not moving. High in Shreveport today was supposed to be 41, so it might be off by 9 degrees. It might be 41 instead of 50. See how slow the other side is moving? I think these dumbasses behind me should just be really happy that we're going as fast as we are. There's idiots passing on the southbound side. And southbound's moving really slow. I think there's just a couple of slow vehicles that got everybody backed up. We're moving really good on northbound side. We just have a couple of dumbasses that want to do 85 miles an hour that make it look like it's congested over here because they flew up behind me and caught up with me. And these idiots behind me, they see how much space there is in front of me. And, oh, you see somebody wiped out really bad right there? They see how much space is in front of me, and they're like cats. If I fits, I sits. They see the space, and they just have to get into it. Like, there are people behind me going stir crazy, just wanting so badly to get in the free space in front of me. They just want to get up here in front of me. They're back there. There's like 4 or 5 of them behind me, and they're all just riding nut to butt, like maybe a car length in between them, just waiting for an opportunity to get in front of me and get into this space up here. They're like salivating over it. They're like, oh my God, look at all that space. I got to get in that space. Maybe one of them will go for it, wipe out, and take out the rest of them, and I won't have anybody riding my ass anymore. Nah, I don't wish any ill upon anybody. 3.7 miles. We made it all the way to Shreveport. Damn. Traffic in front of me slowing down. I'm going to back her down a little bit because I like this space and I want to keep it. And somebody stopped on the shoulder up here. And it has an orange sticker on it. So it's probably from an old accident. And they just never got it cleared off. Nope. Yep, it was. That was. I was about to say, no, that's not an orange sticker from Highway Patrol. But yeah, it was. It was just a really big one. They use really big ones here. It had like a date on it, February 17th. If I, it was really hard to see as I was passing it and, trying to stay focused on the road and everything. But it looked like February 17th. So that car has been there for 3 days. Well, they tagged it 3 days ago. It might have been there longer than that. All right, got some shit under the bridge here. All right, we got some signage up here, probably about the road closure and the detour. And we have a sign, I-49 North closed at I-20 West closed at exit 5. I-49 closed at LA 526, 2 miles ahead. Yeah, so it's still closed. So we're going to follow the detour signs. I'm not going to follow Google. Google is trying to have me drive through somebody's backyard to save a second. You can see where somebody wiped out here. All right. All these cars are going to jump out in the left lane to pass me. I don't really give a shit. This guy right in front of me is the moron that merged on and tried to pass on the shoulder to get in front of this Ortran truck in front of me, and spun out in the shoulder and got stuck. And here comes all the four-wheelers grabbing the left lane. That was a quick fucking light. Look at that moron. The guy just stopped in the middle of the road and then took off while the light was red. He was still over here in this lane while it was red, and he just pulled out in front of traffic. Louisiana didn't even like, all these fucking idiots running a red. Louisiana didn't even bother to adjust their lights for these detours. Look at that moron. Just swung over into my fucking lane. The key today, stay out of an accident, is keep away from the dumbasses. Do you see this stupid fucking idiot in the white pickup truck? He's driving down the middle of the road right now. He's the same one that swung over from the left turn lane, the far left turn lane, over into my lane. And he's just weaving back and forth between the lanes. He's a dumbass. Google is trying to get me to turn right. I'm not going to follow Google. I'm going to follow the damn detour. Take the next right onto Linwood Avenue. Google wants me to turn right here on this road. I-20 is going to be really slow going when we make it over there. Gotta be really careful right here. Somebody's about to make a right turn, and that right turn lane is slush. Continue on westward Counts Industrial Loop for 3 miles. These people are just like drifting in between lanes. Alright, luckily I don't have anybody that was trying to pass me through there. Traffic has basically gone single lane. Fucking Louisiana, man. If they would have just ran a plow across this crap, this road would be dry. Alright, we're going to start backing her down. Got a red light up ahead. And a lot of snow on the road. I mean, the roads are in pretty damn good condition given, you know, how much snow is on them. Because there's a lot of dry spots. But yeah, this snow is still, it's not slush. I'm still driving. Come on, four-wheeler. I know you're going to go for it. Hurry up and fucking do it. Don't wait till the last damn second. Yeah, fuck this shit. I'm getting over in that damn left lane. This right lane is impassable. All right, we got somebody that's going to let me over. This is nasty. They did not change any of these damn lights. What is this fucking moron trying to do? You got a whole bunch of dumbasses just weaving through traffic right here. Space is the name of the game. I'm just going to keep it slow, try to maintain space, and stay away from the idiots as much as possible. Oh my God. People are backed out to the damn road from the drive-through. I can't believe that that is actually happening. They're doing it again. The drive-through's fucking backed out into the roadway. Can't believe that shit. I'm just gonna stay out in this fucking lane now. Screw that shit. I'm not getting back over. This is fucking crazy. Can't believe these dumbasses just parking in the fucking road to go to a damn restaurant, to go through a fucking drive-through. Gonna have to use both feet, keep from rolling backwards. The thing that's supposed to keep you from rolling backwards doesn't work worth a damn in these automatics. You just basically just hold the brake, apply the throttle, and then release the brake. When these motherfuckers next to me start rolling forward, it freaks me out and makes me think that I'm like rolling backwards. Look at these dumbasses. Oh my God. So many morons. Welcome to Louisiana. Apparently, they didn't get the memo to stay in your fucking house. Look at this. What the fuck is this idiot doing? He just cut across a couple of lanes and hopped into that left lane there. And now he's trying to cut across traffic. You have to be really careful with these people from these side streets because they're going to try and come across this huge thing of snow in the middle. And they're coming off of streets that are really snow covered. They get out in front of you and just wipe out. That's what I'm worried about right now is people wiping out in front of me or near me. Google's still getting me to trying to get me to drive through town. Please fucking stay green. Let me have one green light. Thank goodness. Oh my God. 7.4 miles. There's some dumbass behind me with yellow and red flashing lights. You can pass on the fucking right. It's probably some construction worker or something. I don't give a shit. This guy's about to wipe out. All right, he's getting out of that fucking lane. Oh my goodness. Do you see him bouncing all over, sliding all over? These dumbasses. Yeah, this is not slush. That snow is still like pretty rock hard. It's like melted down into blocks of ice and shit. You hit that and it's going to move you. Still got this fucking mechanic behind me. He's got all of his damn lights on. This fucking moron. I can't stand people who do that shit. You get security guards, mechanics, construction workers, all these people. Oh my God. A Mustang over in the right lane on the other side trying to pass people, and he's having to slow to a stop because of how bad the lane is. And they drive around with their lights on like they're important or something. Damn it. Got a whole bunch of people turning right here. Fucking locals not heeding the stay off the road. There's a cop. Dumbass behind me still got his yellow and red flashers going. Yeah, it's going to get even worse. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, thank goodness he didn't do it. It's going to get even worse when we get to I-20. Supposedly we're about 4.5 miles away from I-20. Cops got somebody pulled over up here. Maybe a couple of somebody's. Might be an accident. Sheriff. We're almost to 20, and that's where the fun's probably really going to start. I hope traffic is just moving slow. I hope the road isn't worse on 20. Just out of blue, this motherfucker turns red. There's no cross traffic. That's fucking annoying. All right, we only got 2.2 miles. Yeah, this like looks like slush, but these piles of snow are almost solid fucking ice. I've hit a couple of them with my tires, and it moved the truck. Like, it is some really, really solid ice. And that pickup truck that was driving down the right lane that was bouncing all over the place, yeah, you could tell how solid the ice was by how that guy was bouncing all over the place. All right, going over a bridge. I don't want to have too much acceleration on the bridge because there's slick spots and I'm accelerating really hard, then I could lose traction and it could cause me to, turn sideways or something. Please turn green. Come on, fucking turn green, damn it. These damn side streets. Fuck, man. I'm gonna have to come to a complete damn stop for this stupid shit. Oh, after I come to a stop, then you're gonna fucking turn green, you piece of shit. God. I can understand that these worthless sons of bitches don't have the equipment necessary to clear snow, but fuck, put some damn effort forth and go and mess with the lights, put a cop out there, um, do something so that we can have flow of traffic through this detour. They couldn't even be bothered with adjusting the lights and making them favor the detour. Oh my goodness. Bumpy railroad crossing. There are a lot of trucks parked here. This is GE. GE might have shut down and all these people are here to pick up GE loads or something. Oh my goodness. And there's a lot of trucks out here parked up and down the road and every damn place. Let's go ahead and back it down and hope a light. There we go. We got a green light. And there's trucks parked everywhere. Oh man, you can't see it in the camera, but there's a car, there's a pickup truck in the ditch, like deep ditch. There are so many vehicles parked everywhere that I'm just like trying to be really cautious driving through here. And this motherfucker tanker, slow your ass down. Part of your lane and part of my lane is snow covered.
Turn left onto Greenwood Road, then turn left onto the I-20 West ramp.
All right. So we're good, and we're good. We're double good. Where the fuck's I-20 West ramp? Are you kidding me?
Turn left onto the I-20 West ramp.
That thing looks nasty. Fucking dumbass. Just pulled out in fucking front of me. Oh my god. And everybody's been driving they've been dragging their trailers in the mud. Ugh. Well, I-20 is looking better than I expected, and it's moving better than I expected. You know, we're gonna like be nice and chill. We got 8 miles to Texas, and I hope Texas actually fucking has snow plows. So we got 8 miles of this bullshit, and then hopefully we make it to a civilized state And it's probably going to be just perfect roads. Because if they would have plowed this shit, these roads would basically be completely dry right now. These would be amazing roads. Wow, do you see over there on the right how far that car went off the road? Holy crap, that van is almost onto the, it's almost all the way over to the fence over there. That thing spun out at some pretty damn good speed to slide that far. All right, what's with all the brake checking? Okay, there's somebody wiped out on the shoulder up here. Two people wiped out on the shoulder. One on the left shoulder, one on the right shoulder. I don't know if this is a recent accident or if it's just people that haven't been able to move their vehicles in 2 or 3 days. I don't see anybody near any of these vehicles. So these things just haven't been moved. Here's a whole bunch. There's 3 other vehicles up here. Look at all these. I got 4-wheel drive. Look at all these fucking trucks with 4-wheel drive in the ditch. Missing their damn axles and shit. Oh my God. Holy crap. That one wasn't actually missing its axles. It was just buried so deep in the mud, it looked like it was missing its axles. Once I got close to it, I could see that it was just buried deep in the mud. All right, I don't want to hit that. Some of this shit in the road is really solid. That guy hit it. He went right over the top of it. There's a car hauler behind me that's an impatient jackass that's looking for an opportunity to go around me. He wants to speed limit 70. He wants to do 70. Well, I'm doing 55. If you want to do 70, then go grab that lane. If somebody grabs that left lane to pass me, yeah, that truck stop's pretty packed right there. This is daytime and that truck stop's packed. There's probably a bunch of people scared to drive on this shit still. Like they don't know that the roads are pretty clear right now and they're probably still scared to move. Or this is the weekend. Holy shit, there's another one. Box truck way over there. Almost onto the, like, up over to the fence again. Oh, that's an active wreck. He's buried. Like he's buried in the, shit. This asshole's passing me. Wanting to do 70. There's a whole bunch of people up here on the shoulder. Yeah, that motherfucker's doing like 75 miles an hour in this shit. Good for you. You go do 75. I'm not going to fucking do 75. We have all these dumbasses. I'm getting passed by a whole bunch of trucks right now. I'm just going to back it down because I want them to pass me quickly. These 2 car haulers are probably driving together. Driving like a couple of dumbasses. Doing like 75 miles an hour. I hope they don't wipe out in front of me. And if they do wipe out in front of me, I hope they go into the median. That way I can just keep going. I don't want them to block the road. Here comes Stevens Transport. They're governed at 65, and that's what they're doing. I'm doing 53 miles an hour right now. There's a whole bunch of cops. Is there an accident over this hill? I'm not sure why they're sitting there with their lights on. Probably just to get people to slow down, like these dumbasses that are going 70, 75 miles an hour. They're probably just sitting there with their lights on to try to get people to slow down. I have a feeling there's going to be an accident in front of me the way these people are driving. And they're all clustered up right now. All of those people that are just driving through here really fast. All right, we're going down a single lane. Look at all the tire marks everywhere. I don't know if you can see them in the video because the video is not very high quality, but man, there's just vehicles everywhere, tire marks everywhere. Is that an old Celadon trailer? It is, and he didn't even bother to like take the Celadon sticker off. All right, looks like the right lane might be clearing up. I'm gonna try to get back over there. Oh my goodness. Way station closed. That would be crazy if that bitch was open because they don't have any damn snow plows up in Louisiana. So it would just be an ice rink. We're about to cross into Texas and we'll see what kind of road conditions we have in Texas. There's been a lot of trucks. Actually, I can see markings from a plow. A plow has gone across that scale and cleared that road. I can see the markings. At least that's what it looked like to me. It could have just been trucks driving through there. All right, I got a four-wheeler coming around me right now. It's not too terribly bright. Come on, bro. Get on around me, four-wheeler. I slowed down to let them pass faster. And the bridge narrowed when I did, so they slowed down with me. Then they saw an opening and they floored it. And look at the traffic going the other direction. It seems like all the directions I'm going, the traffic's moving better than the other directions. Welcome to Texas. All right, I expect the roads are going to get a lot better. Good Lord, man. Look at the eastbound side. Expect delays, drive with caution. Unlawful to enter Texas with citrus plants. What do they have against citrus? See how dry these roads are? Pretty sure they plowed these bitches. Nice clear roads. And everybody's shit talking Texas. You want to shit talk Texas? Go over there to Louisiana. You'll see what shit is. Yeah, this is nice. We've only got 38 miles until we get to Longview, and I hope it's 38 miles like this. I hope it's all good. Well, that sign says 44 miles to Longview. The highway or State Road 259 that I'm getting off on is 37 miles. I don't know what the deal is with birds dive bombing in front of the truck, but there was some dumbass bird that tried that shit on 49 a couple hours ago, and he didn't quite get in front of the truck, and he didn't realize until the last second that he wasn't going to be in front of the truck, and he tried to back out of it, and he just thudded on my trailer and then landed in the road. Um, the four-wheeler that was passing me drove over top of him, but didn't hit him with a tire, I don't think. I'm hoping it just knocked his ass out, and he was able to get up and get out of the road before somebody ran him over. Come on, Suncoast. Should you really be coming up the on-ramp that fucking quick? That thing was just covered in snow and ice. And he's just coming up that on-ramp full speed like there's nothing. His truck was all bouncing around and shit. Dumbasses. That's what I'm concerned with. Look at the service road. Even the service road is dry and clean and clear of snow. Damn, Texas. 55 degrees according to my temperature gauge. That is probably off by a bit. But the sun coming in through the windshield has got it ridiculously hot in here, so I'm having to turn on the air conditioner. Well, that should be it for the winter driving. However, once I get to Longview, I'm going to have to get off the interstate and drive on a state road or a highway. And then I'm going to have to drive on like a residential or like a commercial street, just a street, a non highway to get to Dollar General. And then Dollar General's parking lot. So there might be, holy shit, this motherfucker is coming over on me. With all these vehicles we have alongside the road, not really sure that was the wisest thing to do. Like, as I am right alongside you, start coming over. But I braked and let him over. I braked for him. You know, there's something about like trying to be safe and avoid a bad situation and then create a bad situation on top of it. Like, if there's somebody to the left of you, you don't run them off the fucking road because there's somebody on the shoulder that you're passing. Damn, it's hot in here. We got the air conditioner going. What's going on up here? I think it might be a snow plow. Yep, it's a road grader. They're using road graders that are meant for dirt roads and construction, you know, leveling ground and stuff like that. They're using them to plow the road with. I don't know how they work, how well they work as snow plows. Great. I needed a good window washing. Let me return the favor. Texas roads are good. Louisiana's a shithole. I'm only going 65, by the way. Speed limit's 75 miles an hour through here, but given the road conditions, I think that's a little bit fast. Plus, I don't typically go over 70 anyway. 65 is feeling like a good speed right now. Oh, there's a snowplow over on the other side, clearing off the shoulder, I think. Yeah, clearing off the left shoulder, which is good because that left lane, like whenever I just passed that guy, that left lane was tight. The uh, the snow is right on the line. So, and in some areas, it's actually a little bit over the line. So the left lane was a little bit narrow. What is all these passenger buses doing? What was that, like 5 of them running together? $29 more miles. So you can fast forward by like 30 minutes if you want to get to me driving on the county roads or highways or whatever the hell it is. Highway 259 North. Drive up on that to Dollar General. And then just sit and hang out for the night. When I get unloaded tomorrow, I'm going to drive over to the TA in Longview and hope they have a spot. They only have 85 spots, and I suspect that there's going to be a lot of people leaving the truck stop because the roads are clearing up. So hopefully there's not a whole bunch of people camped out there. There might be a ton of people camped out there that like had load cancellations or whatever, and they just have to sit around waiting until Monday to figure out what in the hell is going on. So like the truck stops could be really, really bad all weekend long about parking. All right, we're coming up on a long line of trucks. I'm not wanting to pass a lot of people. I don't want to be out in that left lane for a long period of time. But it looks like we have 65 mile per hour gang doing 65 mile per hour things up here. Bunch of slow movers clustered together. and it's some companies that I don't like to be near. KLLM, Stevens Transport. About to pass that dumbass Stevens Transport that flew by me south of 49, way down on 49, and they were going way too fast for conditions. Pretty sure it's the same Stevens Transport that I'm catching up with right now. Estes. We're going around Estes right now. It's I don't know what kind of car that was. A little SUV spun out over on the other side of the interstate alongside the road. Now, there's still a lot of accidents and stuff even through here. There's a car alongside the shoulder. I'm having to really pay attention to what in the hell's in not just my lane, but KLLM's lane. Surface conditions and this shit can change very quickly. There we go. Made it past a couple of them. We've only got 23 miles to go. What time is it? It's 4:09 p.m. local time. Holy crap. We made amazing time. I was expecting this to take somewhere in the area of 6 to 8 hours, and I left at about 10:30. I'm going to get there at 4:30. So yeah, it's taking right at 6 hours. Okay, so I was right. Never mind. I thought I made like even better time than I expected. So I made like at the low end of the time I expected because this drive is just a hair over 5 hours without any delays. And I had to detour through Alexandria. They had 49 shut down through Alexandria. I don't think I recorded that. I don't think I started recording until further down the road. But I could see 49 where it was shut down, and it was just covered in snow. I think the reason they shut down 49 in both Alexandria and Shreveport is because it's elevated through the town, and it was the snow was not melting off because the basically it was a bridge and it was staying cold. So yeah, I had to detour through road closures through Alexandria and Shreveport, and I was traveling below normal speeds. I was going slower than normal. I had a bad mile per hour average because of the road conditions. So, yeah, I made really good time considering all of that. I was only maybe 40 minutes, 35 minutes um, slower than if conditions were good. And I've been driving, oh shit. Got a flatbed coming on. Just back out of it because I don't know what Stevens is going to do. There he goes. I've been driving, like I would have driven almost exactly the same if I was really heavy, but I'm really light. I'm almost empty. I'm like 8,100 pounds. So it's a little extra dangerous for me on slippery roads because of how light I am. Flatbed is having some difficulty maintaining his lane, swerving around. Prime Incorporated flatbed. All right, we made it around him. Let's go ahead and get the hell around Stevens. There goes another bird diving in front of the vehicles. I don't know if they do that for fun or what, but I have seen several of them get hit doing that shit. Damn, Stevens. Just letting it coast down the hill. I'm doing 72 down this hill. He's pulling away from me a little bit. He's up to like 73 down the hill. I know your ass governed at 65. It's really dangerous to be coasting down at 10 miles an hour over your fucking governed speed. That is stupid. Well, as soon as we got out of that hill, he slowed way the hell down. All right, we have a shady area, and I don't like the way the left lane looks. I'm going to get over. Out of this shit. Because that looks like there could be some ice right there because of the shade. All right, I'm going to let off a little bit on the throttle because that was really wet and it was shaded. And I don't want to be hard accelerating up that hill and lose traction and spin out. Because your vehicle can jerk in any direction. Your drives are typically going to want to go to the right, and the front of your tractor is going to go to the left if you're accelerating and you spin out. Generally, based on my experience, just the way the torque works. I think it has to do with the direction the engine is spinning or something. 23 miles to Longview, but it's only 17 miles to the highway I'm exiting on. So I'm going to be looks like I'm going to the east side of Longview. I'd really like to live over here in northeast Texas. I need to start looking at property in this area. I'd like to live out in the country, but not so far out in the damn country that I can't have internet or anything. Yeah, I want to have water and sewer, some amenities. Here comes somebody passing me, and this is not a good place to be doing it. That left lane is really nasty. He's still staying in that left lane. Over right up here where those trees are at, that left lane is really, really bad. These fucking idiots. I got another dumb shit passing me. Please don't wipe out. Please don't fucking wipe out. Oh my God, these fucking morons. Like a bunch of brain dead idiots. Like how the fuck do these people how have they lived long enough to have a driver's license? See that car way over on the right side, down in the ditch? Here comes another fucking idiot. Utility truck. We're going by another shaded area. He didn't learn the lesson from the last two. These fucking morons. All right, I'm going to get around this car hauler while we're out here in the open with no trees. Come on, utility truck. Press your fucking throttle. Jesus, man, this thing's going like 66 miles an hour. Slow passing sons of bitches. Man, this is what I hate about driving in bad conditions is dumbasses. Like, I am confident in my skills. There's always something that can happen at any moment. But these dumbasses doing dumbass things. Getting a good window washing. That car hauler and Stevens Transport, those are two of the vehicles that were speeding through, um, going way too fast on the roads. And you see how fast they're going right now? They're running at their governors. It's the people that are typically governed really low that drive like maniacs, and go way over the speed limit whenever the speed limit drops or the road conditions get bad. They're just like, all they know is running at their governor. They're just always running at their governor, and that's all they know to do. So whenever the speed limit drops, they just use that as an opportunity to pass people. Because it's so difficult for them to pass people because they're governed at such low speeds. They take advantage of any opportunity they have. I pull the sun visor down, starting to drive into the sun. And my temperature gauge says 55 right now. So it could be as low as 45 degrees outside. I think the high today probably got hotter than forecast. It was only supposed to get up to like 41 today, and it probably got up to 45 to 50, which is good. I'll take it. I like it. 9 miles until my exit. And man, I hope that that highway is in decent condition And man, I hope that people are actually showing up to work at Dollar General. I hope I don't get there and find out that they're closed. I mean, the roads are good enough to get there, but I mean, people, the roads to their houses may not be this good. They may not be able to, get out of their neighborhoods. They may not have running water. They may not have heat. They may be dealing with all kinds of drama in these areas, all kinds of things that could keep them shut down and keep them to where they can't come into work. They have to go take care of a relative or a friend or a family member or something that's dealing with some craziness because of this weather. Look how bad that off ramp is. We're going to have to really back it down and slow down on the interstate before we take the off ramp. That left lane is bad. This idiot is going to go ahead and try and pass me in this shit. Are you kidding me? He's backing out of it. I was sitting there trying to figure out if I was going to back out of it or if he was going to back out of it. He backed out of it. He's still staying in the damn left lane. Now he's moving over to the right. You got to be careful in these damn shaded areas. Once we clear these trees, then pass. Jackass is wanting to run 80 miles an hour out here in these conditions. He gets into an accident, and going that fast isn't going to save him any damn time. All right, now we're coming out of this. There he goes. This is not a very bright individual that's passing me right now, so. I mean, he stuck it out in that left lane through a lot of that nastiness. Just sitting there bouncing around. All right, got 5.5 miles. I don't like having this idiot next to me. I'm going to tap the brakes and let this dumbass go on by. Because anytime I see somebody doing something really stupid, I flag them. I try to remember that vehicle. That way, if I encounter them again, I know, hey, that's a dumbass. I know to be extra cautious around them. So we slowed down so that we wouldn't have this idiot riding along next to us for very long. Just let him get around us, get past. I'm just really glad he backed out of it, because if I would have had to hit my brakes to get away from him, if he would have continued trying to pass me through that shit, then I would have had to slow down to like 55 miles an hour or something, slam on my brakes to get him past me while he was driving across that shit, and he could have lost traction at any second. And it might have freaked him out with me hitting my brakes like that, and he might have slammed on his brakes, and he might have spun out. So I'm really glad he backed out of it, and I didn't have to take any kind of defensive action to get him away from me doing like the ridiculously stupid shit he was doing. We're not gonna go back to cruise. We're just gonna pedal it out for the last 3.5 miles. All right, exit 596, is it? That's what I'm going to take. This is 599. It's Eastman Road, Highway 259, 2.5 miles. They've got it really nice and cleared here. But it looks like it's either been warmer here and a lot of it's melted off, or they didn't get as bad as snow here. Because it's like melted off everywhere. All right, I got somebody on the shoulder up here. They're moving. I don't know if they're trying to get back up to speed or if they're just creeping down the shoulder. I don't know what's going on. They're getting back on the interstate. So they're getting back up to speed. They were stopped on the interstate, now they're getting back on. Or stopped on the shoulder, now they're getting back on. Okay, this is my exit in 1 mile. I got somebody passing me. Don't you just fucking love people coming up on somebody on the shoulder and no fucks given? They just coming around passing me. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start slowing down. No idea what the condition of this off ramp is. Now I'm empty, so I can slow down pretty quick.
149 north.
All right, let's get the engine brakes turned off.
Turn right onto Texas 149 west, US 259 north. Then you will arrive at your destination. Head west towards Southeast Road. Then turn right onto
Damn, I've got 11 miles until I get to Dollar General.
Turn right onto US 259 south, Southeastman Road. Continue on US 259 south for 9 miles.
9 miles down this highway. A long damn drive down this highway. This highway is better condition than the roads in Shreveport. All right. That left lane just ended, basically. Is this guy going to keep trying to pass me over there? Looks like he is. All right, now he's finally moved over in the right lane. He's realized that that left lane's not coming back. All right, left lane's opening back up. I think I'll probably pop out and pass me. Oh man, no, that left lane is still nasty. It opens back up here though. I got 7 miles until I need to make a left-hand turn. All right. Always check your mirrors when you're braking. Make sure your trailer's in a straight line. All right, that was a quick light. And I'm just going to do a nice slow acceleration and let all these four-wheelers go around me and get my space, because I don't want them trying to pass me up here when there's crap in the road. All right, there's not another four-wheeler behind me for quite a while. I hit too many of these lights, so I'm going to have a whole bunch of them on me, though. Light's green, and there's still people coming from the other damn direction. Man, people just running reds today. I'm looking forward to tearing up a damn chicken fried steak. Now, the TA in Hammond um, has absolutely horrible food compared to the other Country Prides at the other TAs. Country Pride actually has some damn good food. Is this guy wrecked over here on the right? Vehicle spun out? Probably. Um, but the TA in Hammond, Louisiana, oh my goodness, man. That cook don't know how to cook. I bought a sirloin steak and a chicken fried steak dinners. I brought two dinners, one to eat then and then one to eat later. And I ate the sirloin steak. I still have the chicken fried steak, and I'm looking forward whenever I get here and park. That's going to be my dinner. Good Lord, I still got 5 miles until my turn. It's taking forever. That's real smart. Just pulling out in front of people, going across that slick snow. You could easily just spin out going across that. You're going to go across right next to somebody. Dumbasses. They're everywhere. And now this guy's going really slow. I don't like him driving beside me like this. There's a car trying to pass me, and this dumb shit is just going really slow next to me. And now I've got two cars to my left. All right, we have a stoplight up here. Hopefully they accelerate really quick from the light. All right, light just turned green. Is that somebody wiped out? Yeah, somebody wrecked. Their front right steer was at a very awkward angle. So it looks like they probably spun out trying to pull out of one of these spots like this dumbass just did right next to me. And their car probably spun and messed up their axle, their tire mount or something. Yeah, it's a good thing I came here during the day because look how wet the road is. It's going to get below freezing tonight. If I would have showed up at the last minute, like 6 a.m. for this 8 a.m. delivery, all of this would probably be solid ice. Safe driving is very key. Space management, all these things are key, but trip planning is also a very important part of avoiding situations. Driving through bad areas at the safest times, something I try to do. Got like three people just got on that on ramp. Uh oh, this guy looks impatient. Watch out for him. No, he didn't go for it. He came flying up to that. You gotta be really careful with these people flying up like that from these side roads because if it's slick, whenever they hit the brakes, they might just slide out into in front of you. You know, there's a lot of people who aren't very bright. 1.7 miles until I turn on the road to get to Dollar General. I hope their parking lot is plowed. Otherwise, it is going to be almost impossible for me to drive in their parking lot. Even with the differential locked, these trucks do not do well on surfaces that are not flat. These things are designed for very flat surfaces. You get them on uneven terrain, driving on, snow and ice, especially ice that's like in chunks and stuff. This type of crap that has ruts in it and stuff, very easy to lose traction and slide around and just not be able to maneuver the vehicle, especially when you're towing a trailer. The trailer gets stuck in a rut, and it's like fucking anchor. If the trailer tires get stuck in something like an anchor, it anchors you down. If you're really, really, really heavy, excuse me, throat got really dry. If you're really, really heavy, you have a lot of weight on your drives, maybe you might be able to pull it out. But me being almost empty, my drives will just sit there and spin if my trailer tires get stuck in something. All right, half a mile. Man, I'm glad that this delivery was in Texas and not Louisiana. Like, you saw how bad Louisiana interstates were. Could you imagine how bad Louisiana highways are? Holy crap. This would have been impassable. It would have been impossible for me to make a delivery in Louisiana driving down 10, 12 miles of highways. All right, we're gonna back it way the hell down because this is a lot of snow and ice in this lane.
Take the next left onto East George Ritchie Road, George Ritchie Road.
All right, got a green arrow. Wonder how long. Hopefully they have this light program for a long turn because this is mainly a lot of commercial vehicles turning down this thing.
Continue on East George Ritchie Road for 2 miles.
Got a couple of four-wheelers coming around me. We're just going to go nice and slow down through here because now we're not even on a highway. We're on like just a residential road. So who knows what's around the corner. So we're just going to take it nice and easy. We've only got a mile and a half. Oh, wow, there's a gas station up here. Is that a little mini truck stop maybe? I don't know. That would be a smart idea right here in front of Dollar General. Put a little truck stop. I'd go in there and support them by buying a bunch of shit. I try to always buy stuff when I stay the night at a truck stop. I spent a whole bunch of money at the TA last night. Holy crap. $20 for reserved parking, $40 for food. I think my total bill was $32 for food. So not quite 40. And I can't remember what else I spent money on. Oh, I also, filled up there. So fuel and def, I got probably $400 or $500 in fuel there. But it doesn't look like they put any truck parking in at the grab and go right here. Almost there. We only got like a mile left. Supposedly, this Dollar General here, this distribution center, has a sign up that says no overnight parking. But somebody posted in the reviews, they asked the guards about that, and the guards said they've never enforced it, and it's only there in case the parking lot gets full, and they have a bunch of people just like hanging out there. They might have to run people off. All right. I think this is the entrance. I thought it was going to be on the right side. Damn it. This is... I'm going to have to get a roll at it. I want to be rolling. Whoa, buddy. He almost fucking hit me. He's not, like, swinging wide. Oh, wow, there's nobody here. So I don't think they're going to be running me off. I waved at him. He's sitting there fucking doing something on his phone. Swing over here. Yeah, man. Way to go, Dollar General. Sweetness. This is nice. I like it. That's it. We made it to Dollar General. Got ourselves a nice spot. Let me do my ELD real quick. Sweetness. So I still had 4 hours and 40 minutes of drive time left. That means I drove for what, 6 hours and 20 minutes? Math seems to add up. All right, I'm going to go ask them how early I can check in. I'll pause the video right now and I'll come back and update you with that. All right, just got back. He was really cool. Sorry, let me turn the four ways and stuff off. I did a post trip after I got back. He was really cool. I went up there to ask him, like, I went up there and said, hey, I got an 8 a.m. appointment. I was just checking to see, like, what time should I show up to check in tomorrow? How early can I check in? And he said, you can check in right now. I gave him my bills because I went ahead. I walked over there with I didn't want to have to walk back. So I took my wallet with my ID and my bills and my tablet and everything. Normally I would take my phone, but if I switch off of recording over to the Driver Hub app to like check reference numbers and stuff, it'll stop the recording. I can't switch to another app. So let me get this turned off and get my APU on. The let me get my fat ass up and in the back so I can turn the APU on up here because I'm gonna run the microwave to heat up some food. But he said I went ahead and he said I could check in now, and what they'll do is whenever they're ready for me in the morning, they'll call me. He said they start with the 6 a.m. appointments and then go to the 7 a.m. appointments and then the 8 a.m. appointments. So he took down, I gave him my bills. He took down all my info and stuff. Took my phone number down, and he said they'd call me. He said, they'll probably call me somewhere around 7:30. So pretty sweet. Worked out. And now I'm just gonna eat and hang out for the rest of the night and go to bed. And then After I get unloaded tomorrow, I'm going to drive over to, you know, the TA Express here in Longview and hope that they have a parking spot because I might be there for a couple of days waiting on a load. We'll see. I'm going to take a look at the load board here in a second once I finish this video. And God, the sun is so bright. I'm trying to put my tablet back in its spot. Um, I'll look at the load board here in a minute. If there's any good loads on the load board, if you know I can figure something out as far as you know, a load to get me out of here, then I will. What time is it? Local time. Damn, the sun is so ridiculously bright. Is it 5 p.m. local time? Yeah, it's only 5:02 p.m. local time here in Texas. Damn, I've got like 14 hours, 14 and a half hours until 7:30 a.m. Got a lot of time to kill. But yeah, I'll take a look at the load board. If there's anything worth a damn on the load board, if I actually start putting some loads together, I'll probably make a video, a load board video of that, and upload that. Aside from that, it's just going to be this driving video. So yeah, the roads were actually in really good condition. It was a little slow going in some places, but in general, the roads were in really good condition. I don't recall driving over any ice or snow covered roads. Yeah, there were a couple of patches that I drove over, but almost all the roads I drove over were not dry, but they didn't have any snow or ice cover on them. So ice free, snow free roads. And I think that the roads just finally cleared up today. So I got over here as early as I possibly could without, you know, driving in this nastiness. So pretty sweet. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching and be safe out there. You know, trip planning is very important to safety. And I did a pretty good job. I don't always do a good job, but I did a pretty good job of trip planning on this load. And I was able to stay safe and stay out of the really nastiness. And I ended up, you know, another day where I'm not in a ditch. So every day that I can make it where I don't end up in a ditch is a good day. So be safe out there and good luck. Have fun. Wish everybody the best. Bye.